How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Arcano. In today's video we are going to be doing the spooky build tips video. I am very late on this. I'm really sorry about that, but we've got a few good tips today. We've got a kind of way to make things float without using echo blocks, which is incredibly useful if you want your builds to be easily maneuverable. We've got a kind of jump scare which you can use to hide things and make them pop out and scare people in your adventure maps. Then we also have a kind of way to make lights flicker if you want to do some sort of spooky laboratory. Very specific, I know, but I know a lot of people do want to know how to do this. I've turned it off because it can be a little bit noisy if you're too close to it. And we're going to crack into this right now. So mainly for this build we're going to be needing teleporters and the furniture items we want to make float. I'm going to be using gothic table and chairs for this because I think they look really nice and it fits well with the spooky theme. So to do this we're going to get our teleporters, and I don't want to make it float too high, so I'm just going to place 1, 2, and then I'm going to place another one on top. And then what you do is you want to break not the top one and not the one below that, but the very bottom one, and then it will make the thing above it float. So I'll show a better example when I actually place it down, but I'm going to place a few of these up because I want it to be just slightly above the thing that I want to break. But you see this one here, we're going to place the object that we want to float on top of that teleporter, so that when we destroy it, it will float. So let's do this now. So I'm just going to place a few going up, maybe, no actually, let's move it over a little bit, there we go. So we're going to place them up, and then I'm going to place some next to it, but I want the chair to be slightly higher, so I'm going to put the chair on the right one and the table on the left one. Now I'm going to place my chair and my table. First I'll place my table, which will be on this one here, just there, and my chair, which will be slightly higher on this one just there. Now, to do this, we're going to break the 2 teleporters below it, and I accidentally summoned this guy. Let's get rid of him. So you want to break the teleporter, not the teleporter that the object is standing on, but the one below that. So there's a teleporter just below where the actual object you want to make float is. So the teleporter that it's sitting on, the one below that, I'll zoom in on now, and then you'll see it. You want to break this one and not that one. So what we'll do is we will zoom in a little bit, and we're just going to see not this one here, not that one, not that one there. You want to break that, and then the object will start to float, and then we'll do the same on that one, and then you can just get rid of the teleporters below that. Any block updates will change this, and it will break it, and sadly you can't sit in the object, well you can't sit in the chair, because there's no block below it to allow you to sit, so you can see we just fall straight through it. And now let's move on to the second tip. Now it's time for the kind of jump scare tip. What we're going to be doing is probably the most simple kind of wiring, and you can see it works pretty much every time flawlessly. It's really simple, and it only involves using one bit of wiring and one bit of statue. I'm going to be using a bird statue for this, and you can use any walls that you want because we're going to be painting it with shadow paint, so you're not going to notice it anyway. I'm going to get all of these, and for the things we're going to be using is a logic sensor, which is player above. You can see mine just there. I've showed it just there, but you can hide it a little bit lower if you want it to not be as noticeable. So I'm going to use some cactus wall. You use whatever wall you want, I'm just using cactus as a bit of an example. You place this, and I'm actually just going to get rid of 2 of these walls because it's a little bit too wide, and the bird statue is only 1 wide, so I might as well save a little bit of space. So I'm going to place my bird statue here, and you can see it's pretty obvious, and I've already got the wiring set up there, but let me quickly just get rid of that. There, and there. Let's just get rid of that. There you go. But it's super duper simple wiring, and if you want me to do a little wiring tutorial, I'm happy for that. You just comment down below, maybe I can do that. So we're going to place this little logic sensor just below, and mine is right there, and you can see this little HUD comes up, and if I just, it's really hard to see, but you can see it kind of changes color whenever there's a player in the radius of it. Maybe it's really hard to see at this time, maybe I could make it day or something, that might help. Actually no, let me get rid of a wall or place a torch there, and then if I walk in front of it, you'll see that when I walk in front it lights up and then doesn't light up, and that's when the player enters the region. That region is, I think it's 10 by 5 or 5 by 10 blocks, I'm not sure how big it is, but it's quite a large area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab some wires, and we're going to link up from our sensor into our statue, and you can see when we enter the radius or exit the radius, a mob spawns. You can obviously change this, but I'm going to quickly paint this with shadow paint, and you're going to see Shadow paint just completely makes it fully black and you cannot see anything through it, and I find that really useful, especially for adventure maps. I've never made an adventure map, but I really want to. I think I will consider doing that. And that is this tip done. And now we are down in the kind of basement area, and as you can see, we are going to be doing a little bit of wiring. I've got all the materials needed in this chest here, but this is a kind of complicated wiring system. I'm not that good at wiring, but I managed to figure something out for this. There's probably a much easier way of doing this and a much more compact way of doing this, but these are the materials you're going to be needing. Let's just loot all and start, I guess. So down here there is a little thing that I've built where we can see what exactly and how exactly this works. We've got a bunch of AND gates, some timers, more timers, even more timers, and everything in between pretty much. So the 5-second timer will activate, power the 1-second timer, which will power the 1-second timer, which will power the 3-second timer, which will kind of make the light flicker on and off. If you want it to be faster, you can use like 1/4-second timers and 1/2-second timers, which is a lot better. It does work much better. Let me put another timer in here, 1/2-second timer, and you'll see what I mean when it kind of turns on and then it'll flicker relatively quickly, and it really does look nice. So we're going to start off by placing some gem spark towards the top of the place. I'm also going to place some echo blocks because it gives off this really nice effect where it kind of makes it look a lot thinner than it actually is. So we're going to grab a few logic gates. I'm going to get 3 of them. These logic gates are AND gates, and we're going to get 3 lamps, and they're going to be off, all 3 of them on the top, just like this. Then we're going to get our timers, which I am just going to place across the sides, if I can find it. Where is it? Okay, I don't think I have it. I need that. There we go. So we're just going to place this timer at the side here, which is 5 seconds. Then we'll place 3 seconds. And then another small, oh wait, I just said 3 seconds, not 1 second, sorry. But then we will get those timers, and we're going to do a little bit of fancy schmancy wiring. I'm going to go with the actuators, because they can be a little bit annoying. Now we're going to get our blue wire, lead it from the timer into the top of the lamp. Then I'm going to switch my color wire to a green wire, and I'm going to get it from the actual lamp, from the actual gate, into the next timer. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but with a different colored wire again, from the timer into the little lamp at the top. Then I will switch the wire again, and we will do it from the gate into the timer again, and then repeat that again, and then from the gate into the timer, because we're going to be doing this flickering effect. I'm going to be doing it with a 1/4-second timer. That's a hammer, not a pickaxe. I'm a little bit silly. We'll get our 1/4-second timer, and then we will also get a few other timers, but first we need to link these. And then when you turn on the 5-second timer, it will run for 5 seconds. Then it will turn on the 1-second timer, then the other 1-second timer, then the 1/4-second timer, and then that will flicker for 1 second. Then it'll flicker again, then it'll stop flickering, and then it'll flicker again. It's very cool how this works, like incredibly cool. I really like it. And then we're just going to wire up some other stuff. What we'll do is we'll get another timer here, and then another timer here, and then we'll link both of them into the wires. So let me get the 1-second timer, 1/4-second timer I mean. Then we'll get a different coloured wire, I'll get blue for this one, 3-second timer, then I will delete that last one. We'll get a green wire, and we'll link that into there. And then when you turn it all on, it will start flickering quite randomly, and it gives off a really nice effect. So every 5 or so seconds, every 3 or so seconds, it will start flashing really randomly. It can be pretty fast, so if you don't want it to be too fast, you can always change the 1/4-second for a 1/2 second or a 1 second, or even longer if you want longer gaps instead of shorter gaps. So anyway guys, that's all we have time for in today's video. Quite a quick video and a simple video. I know I'm very late on this, and also I didn't have a lot of time to edit this video, so sorry it's not as good as I usually are. Anyways, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!